Hello and welcome to Celebrating Marvel Studios. I'm your host, Constance Miller. In this episode, I'm going to be reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And it's going to be a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the film, you want to turn back now because there's going to be some plot details that are given away. So turn back now. So for this third outing, we're starting off on a lighter note, like most of the other two movies were. However, things are going to change drastically. And we start off with Cassie being in trouble with the law, which is sort of like her father, and it's all about peaceful protests for the homeless. So she's doing good work for humanity. Speaking of good work, she also seems to be some sort of quantum physicist. In the 5 years during the blip, and she's found a way to contact the quantum realm. Now, this is a little bit funky, and I don't know how they decided that they were going to pull that off, but needless to say, she sends a signal to the quantum realm, and Janet is all sorts of uneasy about this. Now, why she wasn't uneasy about contacting the quantum realm before, I don't know, but anyways, contact is made and they all get sucked into the quantum realm. Oh, oy vey. So Scott and Cassie get separated from Hope, Janet, and Hank. And it's up to them to find each other and figure out how to get home. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on in the quantum realm, and there's a lot of busyness that is going on there. And it actually kind of took me out of the movie for a little bit. There's a lot of characters, a lot of aliens, a lot of visual effects, and it, like I said, it did kind of take me out of the film for a little bit. It like messed with my ADHD. So it was like, oh my gosh, who are all these characters? Where are all these aliens and whatnot? So that did kind of take me out, but needless to say, Cassie and Scott meet up with some freedom fighters, and we don't know exactly what they're fighting for just yet, but we soon will. Janet, Hope, and Hank meet up with Bill Murray's character, and he alludes to the fact that he might know where Scott and Cassie are, but he's a little bit more on the diabolical side, and he alludes to the fact that Janet knows a lot more about the quantum realm that she has let on, including the knowledge of somebody in particular by the name of Kang, and a certain hunter by the name of MODOK. Wow. So MODOK. At first I was just like, okay, I was getting ready for the awfulness that MODOK was, and then he showed up and I was just like, wait a minute. He actually looks kind of cool. He seems menacing. Maybe this isn't going to be so bad. Then the faceplate comes up, and then you realize, obviously, we all knew this, that it was Darren Criss, aka Yellow Jacket, played by Corey Stoll. And it's just, it looks ridiculous, but then you thought, well, maybe they can pull this off. Well, needless to say, they don't pull it off. And he gets a backstory, and it's just ridiculous all the way around. So that's definitely a big fail on the movie's part. Then soon we're getting introduced to Kang, played by Jonathan Majors. And Majors does an astounding job in this role, as he did in the Disney Plus series Loki. He was phenomenal there as well. And it's a shame that whatever's gone on in his personal life has interfered with his ability to be a part of the Marvel franchise any further, because, oh, I would love to see more of Jonathan Majors as the king going forward, and it looks like it's just not going to happen. His performance in this movie, it was just pure decadence. It was subtle, it was menacing, it was charming, it was just, it was so good. And a worthy villain, by the way. A very worthy villain. Sorry about that, just had an allergy attack. So yeah, so seeing Scott step up and up the ante as far as being a superhero was really awesome. And it would be really great if we could see more of this going forward. Now on to Hope by chance. She does have some good action sequences, but there really isn't much of a story arc for her, aside being the doting daughter who wants to make sure her parents and her boyfriend are safe. Now while the dramatic elements of the writing was good, the humor of the film was really flat and didn't stick a landing with any of the jokes as far as I was concerned, especially in regards to MODOK. He was supposed to be made fun of, and he was the expense of a lot of jokes, and neither of them really landed, especially at the end when he was supposed to be redeemed. But overall, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was a good ride, and definitely a movie I'll be watching again. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Celebrating Marvel Studios. If you like what you saw here, feel free to comment in the section below and let me know what you think about the movie and my opinions, and if you have any thoughts that I didn't happen to cover, let me know. And if you are able to help support this channel, you can do so by following the links in the description. And as always, love and light to you all.